Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy evening to join me. I really appreciate it. I really do. We're number three into the four streams today, and I say it every day, and I'll say it every day because it's a true statement, one, and it's how I feel. This is like the happiest a dude could ever be. Streaming, just, doing my thing. I appreciate you guys, all of the support, everybody watching. Thank you very much. In whatever capacity you share and or, just even, have me in your life is really cool and I appreciate you. So, I do want to talk about how there are some people out there bent on, you know, taking more privacy away than what we already have from a kind of very small pool of to begin with. And wouldn't you know that technology is at a point where we can finally begin to have conversations that aren't rooted in science fiction. Moreover, I want to talk about how first responders and local law enforcement now have access to technology that allows for them to see through buildings and I think the conversation is there's no other way to begin, right? In terms of the tech exists and it's being used, and now we need to talk about limiting its use and or restricting it to clearly what cannot be argued as anything other than professional and or immediate sort of first aid and or potential crime sort of solving um, outcomes that it can help to ensure, right? And so, for example, I can understand and I already see where the arguments will come from in terms of the benefits of being able to see through buildings. I mean, this could aid first responders in a lot of different ways. It could be obviously the difference between being there in time to save someone's life and, you know, being there in time to not be able to save somebody's life. Seconds matter when you're attempting to save somebody's life. And, the conversation's all real relative until, you talk about how we all want people to be there immediately, obviously, when we're hurt or we need aid rendered or any of these things, right? And so we can think of its importance in that regard. It's really important, I think, to think about it like that. But nonetheless, is having seconds, is that worth the risk of obviously what might be super creepy and super illegal? Obviously not really from the first responder side in terms of being able to utilize equipment that can help them get into buildings faster, determine obstacles that they're going to have to bypass or overcome to get to people, especially in crisis situations. But what about, the local police department or the Bureau of Investigations or, any of these people that are already, sort of in a place of privilege and power that blankets their sort of undying need to know every single thing about us at all times, in all places. I think the only thing that could be worse than that is trusting a system that arguably has already failed in so many different respects as it concerns providing surveillance, against our own people. And for whatever reason we think that it's appropriate to do such, have in fact engaged in this behavior for well on over publicly known 2 decades. I think that anytime that, okay, and look at my notes for right now. So I think that anytime people have an opportunity to exploit a system, I think they might. I think many situations have led me to believe through just the history I've been told and the behavior that I encounter doing my dailies, in a world IRL that is, based on getting that money, you feel me, at any and all costs. Um, I just think that it's not okay, again, to give the people that already have many problems to solve more problems with the idea that they can spy on you. And again, even in not just like a bystander kind of a way. I mean, that's just kind of weird. I think it's kind of weird. Again, is it worth saving like lives in terms of, because that's what the argument will be in terms of deterring crime? And I mean, I don't know. I just, do we all need to watch Minority Report together? Stephen King's adaptation of a book that was written by a really famous science fiction novel writer, and the movie is pretty good. But I say it like that because that's what can be relatable here. Like, I don't know if that's a completely reliable way to, enable free will so much as that it restricts the potentiality of what can't be argued as anything other than terrible, crime, violence, all of these things. But, like, what if it, you know, doesn't happen? Or what if it's just looks like I don't, there's just a lot of privacy issues, again, that come up with the actual implementation of police officers being able to see through buildings in a way that is like watching, this vlog. I just, without them knowing and without you ever knowing, I guess, right? I mean, it's become such a problem that YouTube algorithms put it on for lawyers. Anytime lawyers are putting up ads um, about a certain topic, it means that there's a need for that specific service. I mean, right? Follow the market, follow attorney client services. Seriously, wherever those services are being provided and or needed is because that's where they're being provided because they're needed. And so I think it's kind of interesting to think about the number of people who are currently like having these conversations in a legal manner as it concerns, their loss of rights or their allegations of, this kind of technology being used in a creepy kind of a weird or just illegal way, whatever, right? I mean, it's just, again, the idea of people being able to look through buildings and see you do what you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing, again, is not, it's just different. You feel me? I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation to have, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your life to join me. And I hope that y'all have a really good night. All right? Bye.